A business letter is a professional formal letter that is sent by one company to another. These letters can be used for professional correspondence between business clients, employees, stakeholders, as well as individuals. Whether you need to tell a potential client about your product, collaborate with another company, convince someone to attend your event, or give a thank you note, a real written business letter can stand out. Let's have a quick look at different types of business letters you might need to write at some point in your life.
Types of business letters. First, cover letters. First up, a cover letter is a one-page document that candidates submit along with their resumes. It takes the employer on a quick journey of their greatest career and life achievements. No matter if you are a student or an experienced professional, a cover letter is an important document to show your skills, experience, and why you are fit for the position you are applying for. Second, business invites. These letters are a formal way to reach out to a company or an individual and invite them to attend an event hosted by your company. As business events tend to be formal, an invitation letter is most likely to be formal as well. But if you are organizing a casual event, it should be reflected in your invite and tone. Third is complaint letter. This letter is a way to formally express your disappointment formally. You can report a bad experience for customer service or let a company know that their products didn't meet your expectation. The key to this letter is that it shouldn't sound like you are nagging, but also shouldn't lose its importance if you want to be taken seriously. Fourth is letter of resignation. A letter of resignation is a document that notifies your employer that you are leaving your job. Whether you work at a coffee shop or a big soap company, it's proper protocol to submit a letter of resignation before you leave. Also, if you have an urge to send an incendiary letter of resignation, don't give in. You may cross paths with these people again. Fifth is order letters, also known as purchase orders. These letters are used to order things or buy material. They act as a legal record, documenting the transaction between the buyer and seller. These letters are generally written by one business to another business to make an order or to modify it. And the last is letter of recommendation. These letters intend to recommend someone for an internship, job, fellowship, or other such opportunities. Before hiring an employee, many employers ask for such kinds of letters. It tells why the person the letter is about is a good person to hire and describe their strengths and abilities.
Okay, now we are going to talk about how to write business letter. For the step 1 is a deadline. Rather than abbreviating with numbers, write the entire date. When you are writing to American companies, use the American date format. Put the month before the day. Example, October 20, 2016. And then, write the date before the month if you are sending a letter in the United Kingdom or Australia. Example, 20 October 2016. Next, for step 2 is inside address. This is the address where your letter will be delivered. Write the recipient's name, their title like Mrs., Mr., or Doctor, and their address. Make sure you are as specific as possible so that it reaches the right destination. If you don't know the person's name, a little research won't harm you. Call the company or speak to the employees of the company to find out the name. Example, Mr. Mike Brown, Executive Director, XYZ Inc., 602 Melrose Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 90038. Next, for the step 3 is the salutation. In English, it is common to use various impersonal salutations or greetings in business letters. These forms of address always depend on the person or persons one is writing to. In most cases, dear is used for both formal and informal correspondence. If the letter is directed to a single person, the following forms of address are available, like Dear Sir for the male recipient, Dear Madam for female recipient, and then Dear Mr. Mike if the recipient is a man, Dear Miss Wooland if the recipient is an unmarried woman, and then Dear Mrs. Sinta if the recipient is a married woman, and then the last, Dear Sandra or Dear Johnny if the writer of the letter knows the recipient. The first name is usually unlisted. And then, if the letter is written to several people such as company or an organization without addressing a specific person, the subsequent forms are typical, like Dear Sirs, Gentlemen, Ladies, Ladies and Gentlemen, or Gentlemen and Ladies, and then to whom it may concern. Okay, for the next step is the body. This is the most important part of your letter. The body should contain a few concise paragraphs, each with a clear purpose. If you want your reader to get the best possible impression, keep your message crystal clear. In the opening paragraph, introduce yourself and clarify the point of your letter. You can also mention mutual connection here, in case the recipient doesn't know who you are. In the next paragraph, go into the details on your main point. And then, in the closing paragraph, briefly summarize your points, restate the letter's purpose, and tell your planned course of action. Here, you will mention that the recipient can contact you or your team if he or she has any concerns or questions. You can also thank him or her for reading the letter. Make sure that the closing is more than 2 sentences long. For instance, you can write, kindly email me at your email to schedule a meeting. Thank you. If you have any queries, don't hesitate to call me at your contact number. For the step 5 is complementary clause. This is a short remark that marks the end of your letter. You've got a lot of options here, but choose the one that reflects the formality of your relationship. Recommended formal closings include yours truly, or respectfully, or sincerely. If your letter is less formal, you can write all the best, or thank you, or regard, or best. Regardless of what you choose, add a comma to the end of it. Last but not least, is a signature. Below the complementary clause, sign the letter. Make sure that you skip at least 4 lines so that there's enough room for your signature. After that, type of the name that has to be signed. You can include your job title. For example, your signature and then type full name like Devi Tania Maudy, and the title is Executive Director. And then for the last step is Enclosures. If you plan to send anything along with your business letter, you can indicate this simply by writing Enclosures after the signature. Consider if the print version of Please Find a Tag for emails. If you had included many documents, make a list that tells the recipient what he or she needs to look for the envelope. For example, Enclosures 5, 2 brochures, and 3 flyers. When it comes to a business letter, using the right justification and accurate structure isn't good enough. You need to strike the right tone. You need to ensure that your recipients understand your letter's intent. Okay, here is a format of business letter. Now we are going to analyze the structure of business letter. The first, there is a deadline, July 7, 2020.
Then, from the Miss Lily Jackson to Jakarta ID 11345, it was an inside address. And dear Miss Jackson is salutation. And then, from it has come to my attention until he is happy to contact me, and that is called body. And then, there is sincerely what is called complementary clause. After that, there is a signature block. And finally, under the signature, there is the sender's name.
So maybe that's all from us. We are sorry if there's a mistake. And thank you so much for your great attention. Goodbye.